They had seen many human ships before, small ones, fast ones, cheap ones. The alien commanders had studied humanity for years and believed they understood them well. Humans were clever, yes, but careless, emotional, always rushing. Their technology was loud and inefficient, built with thick armor instead of elegant energy fields. To the Galactic Alliance, humans were brave, but outdated. That belief was why the fleet laughed when a long human warship entered the border system. It moved slowly, almost lazily, drifting into open space like it had no fear. Its shape was wrong by modern standards. Flat sides, hard angles, no glowing shields, no smooth curves, just dark metal layered over dark metal, with thin blue lines running across its surface like veins of cold light. The alien sensors scanned it again and again. No advanced stealth, no energy shield strong enough to matter, no weapon signatures worth worrying about. Primitive, one commander said, calmly. Another added, this must be a museum ship. The human vessel did not answer any calls. It did not change course. It simply continued forward, straight toward the Allied fleet that blocked the star lane. On the human ship's bridge, silence rolled. The crew stood at their stations, calm and focused. They were not young. Many had scars. Some had gray hair. This ship was not built for speed or beauty. It was built for survival. It had fought before. It had lost friends. It had been repaired again and again. The ship's name was carved deep into its hull, not glowing, not proud, just words cut into steel. The human captain stood with hands behind his back, watching the enemy fleet through the main screen. Hundreds of alien ships floated in perfect formation, shining with energy shields and bright colors. They still think we are weak, the captain said quietly. The first officer nodded. They always do. No one smiled. The alien fleet sent a final message, translated into clear human speech. You are entering restricted space. Power down and prepare to be boarded. Resistance will result in your destruction. The human captain waited a few seconds before replying. This ship will not stop. That was all. The alien commanders laughed again. They fired warning shots. Bright beams of energy flashed across space, stopping just short of the human ship's hull. The blasts were meant to scare, not destroy. The aliens expected panic, a sudden turn, a desperate message asking for mercy. None came. The human ship continued forward. One alien commander frowned. Why are they not reacting? Another answered, perhaps their systems are too slow. The order was given to fire again. This time, closer, energy slammed into the human ship's armor. The blue lines along its hull brightened for a moment, then dimmed again. No explosion, no broken pieces, just a low vibration that rolled through the ship like distant thunder. Inside, the crew barely reacted, impact absorbed. A technician said calmly, armor integrity? The captain asked, stable. The alien fleet fell silent. They had expected fire, damage, panic. Instead, the human ship kept moving, unchanged, untouched. The alien scanners ran again. The results made no sense. No shield activation, no energy flare, no power spike. How did it survive that hit? One commander demanded. Before anyone could answer, the human ship finally slowed. It stopped just outside the alien formation. For the first time, something changed. Sections of the human ship's hull shifted. Plates moved, sliding apart with heavy, mechanical precision. The blue lines along the surface grew brighter, forming new patterns. Deep inside the ship, systems older than most alien civilizations began to wake. The alien fleet detected it too late. A massive energy draw surged from the human vessel, but it was not like modern weapons. It was rough, dense, focused. This energy type is unknown, an alien officer said, fear creeping into their voice. The human captain raised one hand. Target forward line, he said. The ship answered. There was no loud blast, no bright beam that stretched across space. Instead, a deep flash burst from the human ship's core cannons, invisible for a split second. Then space itself seemed to tear. The front line of the alien fleet vanished, not exploded, not broken, gone, where dozens of ships had floated moments before. There was only twisted light and spreading heat, like the memory of violence burned into space. The alien fleet froze. No shields had stopped it. No warning had come. No defense had mattered. The human ship remained still, its weapons cooling, its armor dark once more. On the bridge, The captain lowered his hand. "Message to all ships," he said. The communication officer nodded. The human voice echoed across the system, calm and steady. "You called us primitive." The alien commanders stared at the empty space where their fleet had been. "This ship was built to end wars." The message continued. "You chose to start one." And for the first time, the galaxy began to understand that humanity had never been behind. They had only been waiting. The alien fleet did not move. Where? Commands once flowed fast and confident. Now there was silence. Sensors showed the same truth again and again. The human warship had erased an entire battle line with a single strike. No shield failure warning, no energy overload. The ships were simply gone. Fear spread faster than logic. Alien commanders shouted orders, but their voices lacked strength. Some ships tried to pull back. Others raised shields to maximum power. A few powered weapons. Aiming at the human ship with shaking precision. On the human bridge, the crew watched. "Everything. They are scared now," the first officer said. "They should be," the captain replied. The human ship remained still, like a predator that did not need to chase. Its massive cannon slid back into place, hidden once more behind layers of armor. Power levels dropped to normal. To alien sensors, it looked harmless again. That confused them even more. "Why are they not attacking?" an alien commander asked. Another answered, "Maybe that was their only weapon." The thought gave them false hope. An order was given, a coordinated strike. Hundreds of alien ships locked onto the human vessel at once. Energy readings spiked across the fleet. This time, they would not hold back. The human ship detected it. Instantly, enemy weapons charging, a technician reported. The captain nodded. "Hold position." The crew trusted him. They had trained for this. They had waited for this moment. The alien fleet fired. The darkness of space filled with light. Beams, pulses, and waves of energy slammed into the human warship from every direction. The attack was beautiful in a deadly way, like a storm made of stars. The human ship disappeared behind explosions. Alien commanders watched closely, expecting to see the armor melt, the ship break apart, the threat end. Seconds passed. The explosions faded. The human warship was still there. Its armor was blackened in places, glowing faintly with heat, but it had not broken. The blue lines along its hull pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Inside the ship, alarm stayed silent. "Armor holding," the technician said. "Damage?" the captain asked. "Minor. Within limits." The first officer allowed himself a slow breath. The alien fleet panicked. "How is this possible?" One commander shouted. "No shield system can survive that." Another officer answered quietly. "They are not using shields." That truth struck harder than any weapon. The human ship was not protected by fragile energy fields. It was protected by layers of dense armor, materials forged under extreme pressure, repaired and reinforced over generations. It was built to take punishment and keep fighting. The human captain gave another order. "Activate secondary systems." Deep inside the ship, old machines came alive. Systems designed not for beauty or speed, but for certainty. The ship's power flow shifted, spreading evenly across its massive frame. Alien sensors detected something new. Multiple weapon ports opened along the human ship's sides, smaller than the main cannons, but many, too many. A known weapon. Arrays detected, an alien officer warned. Before any command could stop it, the human ship fired again. This time, the attack was different. Dozens of kinetic rounds launched from the human vessel at extreme speed, not energy beams. Solid metal, accelerated to impossible velocity. They tore through space without warning. Alien shields reacted slowly. Ships were punched apart. Hulls shattered, reactors breached. Explosions rippled through the fleet. Not clean or silent like before, but violent and chaotic. The alien formation collapsed. Some ships turned and fled. Others spun out of control. Communication channels filled with fear and confusion. On the human bridge, the crew worked with calm precision. Targets neutralized, a weapons officer said. "Limit fire." The captain ordered. "Let them run." The human ship slowed its attacks. The message was clear. This was not a battle for survival. This was a lesson. The remaining alien commanders watched their fleet scatter. Pride turned to shame. Confidence turned to terror. They sent a desperate message. "Human vessel, cease fire. We request negotiation." The captain waited before answering. "You attacked us," he said calmly. "You ignored our warning. We did not understand." The alien reply came quickly. Your technology appeared inferior. The captain's expression did not change. Humanity has never shown all of its strength, he said. You judge what you saw, not what we are. Silence followed. The alien fleet pulled back, keeping distance now. No weapons charged, no threats spoken. But the battle was not over. Far from the system, unseen by both fleets, signals had already been sent. Messages of fear and anger raced across the galaxy. Powerful forces were listening. Ancient empires that had ruled for ages took notice. A single thought echoed through alien space. If this was one human warship, what else had humanity been hiding? The news spread faster than any ship could travel. Across the galaxy, listening. Stations replayed the battle again and again. Data showed impossible results. A single human warship had faced a modern fleet and survived without shields. It had erased ships with weapons no one fully understood. Many refused to believe it. This must be an error, some leaders said. Human propaganda, others claimed. But the wreckage was real. The empty space where ships once existed could not be denied. In distant star systems, ancient councils gathered. Species that had ruled space for thousands of years spoke in worried tones. They had watched humanity grow, fight among themselves, and struggle to survive. Humans were noisy and violent, but never considered a true threat until now. One empire, old and proud, took the news as an insult. The humans used a trick, their leader said. A lucky weapon, nothing more. They believed power meant elegance, speed, energy shields, and glowing weapons. The human ship had none of that. To them, it was still crude, heavy, ugly. They decided to prove their strength. A larger fleet was prepared. Not a border patrol, not a warning force, a punishment fleet. Thousands of ships gathered, forming a wall of steel and light. Their weapons were tuned, shields layered, commanders confident. This time, no mistakes would be made. They set course for human space. On the human warship, long-range sensors detected the movement days before contact. Multiple fleets, a technician reported. Large scale. The bridge grew quiet. The first officer looked at the display. They're not here to talk. The captain nodded slowly. No, they're here to end us. He turned to the crew. This ship was never meant to stand alone, he said. But today, it will. Orders moved through the ship. Power reserves unlocked. Ammunition systems loaded. Systems that had not been active for decades began to wake. Deep inside the hull, sealed doors opened. Massive weapons, too dangerous for normal combat, were prepared. Not all of them would be used. Not yet. The human ship moved forward to meet the incoming fleet. The alien armada emerged from hyperspace like a storm. Their formation filled space from edge to edge. Thousands of weapons locked onto the single human vessel. To them, this was Mercy, human warship. The alien command transmitted, "You will surrender now. You will power down and prepare for destruction." The human captain replied calmly, "You crossed into our space. We crossed to end a threat." The alien leader answered, "You are alone." The human captain looked at the display. Then he gave a small nod. "Yes," he said, "we are." The alien fleet opened fire. Without waiting, the attack was beyond anything before. Space burned with energy. Waves of destruction rolled forward, strong enough to crack moons. The human ship was hit again and again. Its armor screamed under the force. Plates bent. Internal lights flickered. Some systems went dark still. The ship did not retreat. Damage increasing, a technician reported, within limits. The captain replied. The ship pushed forward through the storm. Alien commanders stared in disbelief as their strongest weapons failed to stop it. No ship should survive this. No ship should keep moving. Then the human ship changed course slightly, not toward the center of the fleet, toward its command core. The alien leader's eyes widened. "Stop it," they shouted. "Redirect fire." Too late. The human ship unleashed another strike from its main cannons. Space folded inward. The command ships vanished in a silent flash. Across the fleet, coordination collapsed. Without leaders, fear took control. Some ships fled. Others fired wildly. Collisions followed. Explosions tore through their own formation. The human ship fired again, slower this time. Precise, each shot removed another key target. On the bridge, the captain watched calmly. "Transmit message," he said. The signal spread across open channels. "We did not come to conquer," the human voice said. "We came to survive." The remaining alien ships pulled back, broken and terrified. As the battlefield fell silent, the human ship drifted among the wreckage. It was damaged, scarred, burning in places, but it still stood and across the galaxy. One truth became clear. Humanity was no longer something to be tested. They were something to be feared. The battlefield grew quiet, but the galaxy did not. What remained of the alien fleet retreated in chaos, carrying fear back to their worlds. Broken ships limped through hyperspace, filled with crews who could not stop shaking. They had faced something they did not understand and survived only because the human ship allowed it. Across alien space, leaders argued. Some demanded revenge. Some demanded peace. Others demanded answers. How could one ship do this? The answer scared them more than the battle itself. The human warship returned slowly toward human-controlled space. It did not chase the retreating fleet. It did not celebrate. Inside, damage teams moved through dark corridors, sealing ruptures and restoring power. The ship had paid a price. On the bridge, the captain studied long-range data. They will not stop. The first officer said quietly, "No." The captain replied, "They will come again, stronger." He turned to the crew, "And next time, they will not underestimate us." Back in alien territory, an emergency council was formed. Ancient species, some older than human civilization itself, gathered in. A secure system far from the fighting. Holographic figures filled the chamber. "The humans are a danger," one leader said. "Their ships are crude, but unstoppable." Another answered, "Crude is not the word. Their designs ignore elegance. In favor of endurance, they build weapons to last." A third spoke with fear. That ship was not new. It was old. Silence followed. Old men experience. Old men history. Old meant that humanity had been preparing long before anyone noticed. One voice finally said what all were thinking. If that was one ship, how many more exist? No one answered. Days later, scouts confirmed the worst. Human space was not empty. Hidden shipyards floated near dead stars. Massive frames, larger than the warship, waited in silence. Some were active, others were dormant, sealed and ready. Humanity had not built for show. They had built for war. The Alien Council made a choice, a desperate one. They would strike first. Not at a ship, not at a fleet, at Earth. A massive invasion force was assembled, larger than any before it. They believed humanity's strength came from industry, from homeworlds that fed their war machines. Remove the heart, and the body would fall. The human warship detected the fleet as it crossed the border. Trajectory confirms it. A technician said, "They're heading for Earth." The bridge fell silent. The captain closed his eyes for a moment. "So they chose fear," he said. He opened his eyes and straightened. "All hands," he said. "Prepare for final defense." The ship turned, engines pushing beyond safe limits. Power surged. Systems overheated. "We can't face that fleet alone," the first officer said. The captain nodded. "We won't." A coded signal was sent, deep into human space. Old beacons activated, long-forgotten channels opened. Messages reached places no alien scout had ever seen. Across dark systems, silent giants began to move. The human warship jumped ahead of the invasion force, placing itself directly in their path. The alien armada slowed, surprised. "You cannot stop us," their commander transmitted. "Move or be destroyed," the human captain responded calmly. "This is Earth's line." The alien fleet opened fire. The human ship did not dodge. Instead, it activated something new. The blue lines along its hull turned red. Energy readings spiked far beyond previous levels. Inside the ship, ancient weapons unlocked. Systems labeled forbidden powered up. Weapons humanity had sworn never to use unless the species itself faced extinction. The alien fleet realized too late. This ship was no longer holding back, and Earth was not unguarded. The first shots from the alien fleet struck the human ship with full force. This time, the damage was real. Armor plates cracked. Internal systems failed. Fires broke out in lower sections. The ship shook harder than ever before. Several crew members were thrown from their stations, structural damage rising. A technician shouted, "We can't take this much longer." The captain held his ground. "We don't need to," he said. The human ship answered the attack, but not with its main cannons. Smaller weapons fired in controlled bursts, not to destroy the fleet, but to slow it. Kinetic rounds shattered sensors. Precision strikes crippled engines. The alien formation lost speed and order. Still, the invasion fleet pushed forward. They're forcing through, the first officer said. They don't care about losses. They're afraid, the captain replied. That makes them dangerous. Inside the human ship, the forbidden systems reached full charge, deep chambers open. Weapons that had never been used in open war aligned themselves. These were not weapons of conquest. They were weapons of denial. Weapons meant to stop anyone from ever reaching Earth. Authorization required. A system voice reported. The captain placed his hand on the control panel. Authorization. Granted. He said. Space changed. Not exploded. Not burned. Changed. A wide region ahead of the human ship twisted and folded. Gravity spiked suddenly, crushing alien ships as if they were made of paper. Larger vessels broke apart slowly, painfully, pulled into invisible pressure wells they could not escape. The alien fleet panicked. What is happening? The commander screamed. This region is unstable. Another officer cried. Navigation is failing. The human ship held the line as dozens of enemy ships were destroyed without direct fire. Others shut down engines to avoid tearing themselves apart. The message was clear. Advance meant death. But the alien leaders were desperate. They ordered a concentrated strike, focusing everything on the human ship. Energy blasts hit again and again. Hull breaches opened. Atmosphere vented into space. Emergency doors sealed automatically. On the bridge, smoke filled the air. Captain, the first officer said quietly, we're running out of time. The captain looked at Earth's distant star on the display. Then we finish this, he said. Another signal was sent. This one was not a call for help. It was a command. From hidden points across human space, massive shapes exited silent orbits. Old warships, larger than the one holding the line. Ships that had not flown in generations. The alien fleet detected them too late. Multiple hyperspace signatures appeared behind and around the invasion force, surrounding them. The alien commander's voice shook. There are more, so many more. The human captain opened a wide-channel transmission. You came to end. U.S., he said. Now you will listen. The new human ships powered weapons, but did not fire. Not yet. The alien fleet was trapped between Earth and humanity's true strength. And for the first time since the invasion began, the aliens understood the truth. The ship they mocked was not special. It was only the first. The alien invasion fleet was surrounded. Human warships held position in perfect silence, their massive forms blocking every escape path. They did not rush. They did not threaten. They simply existed, heavy and unstoppable. Like mountains floating in space, the alien crew stared at their displays in disbelief. These ships were even more frightening than the first one. They were not shiny. They were not elegant. They were built like fortresses. Scars covered their hulls. Some bore marks from wars older than any alien record. These were not new weapons. These were veterans. The human captain watched the enemy fleet carefully. They're waiting, the first officer said. They're hoping we make a mistake, the captain replied. The alien commander opened a channel, their voice tense and strained. Human forces, they said. Stand down. This conflict has escalated beyond control. The captain answered calmly. You crossed into our space with an invasion fleet. Control was lost the moment you did that. Silence followed. Inside the alien ships, panic grew. Their weapons were charged, but they were trapped. The gravity field ahead still twisted space. The human fleet behind them was locked and ready. They were surrounded by patience. The alien leaders argued among themselves. Some demanded a final attack. Others begged for retreat. None of them could agree. Then one alien ship broke formation. It tried to flee. The human response was instant. A single human warship fired one controlled shot. The fleeing ship lost power and drifted helplessly, intact but disabled. No explosion, no mercy plea, just certainty. The message was clear. Escape was allowed only by permission. The alien commander finally spoke again. What do you want? They asked. The human captain did not answer immediately. He looked across the bridge at his crew, tired faces, injured hands, people who had stood between Earth and extinction. Then he spoke. You will leave our space, he said. You will return home, and you will tell your people what happened here. And if we refuse, the alien asked. The captain's voice did not change. Then you will not return at all. The alien fleet powered down weapons one by one. Shields dropped, engines slowed. Surrender. Human ships did not move closer. They did not celebrate. They watched. The gravity field ahead faded. space returned to normal. The path away from Earth opened slowly, carefully, one by one. Alien ships turned around. Before leaving, the alien commander sent one last message. "Why did you hide this power?" they asked. The human captain answered honestly. "Because power invites fear," he said, "and fear invites war." The alien fleet jumped to hyperspace and vanished. The human ships remained. On the bridge, the first officer exhaled deeply. "It's over," he said. The captain shook his head slowly. "No," he replied. "It's understood." Across the galaxy, emergency broadcasts spread. Empires listened. Councils froze. Old alliances cracked. Humanity was no longer ignored. They were no longer mocked. They were being watched. And deep in human space, something even older than the warships began to stir. The galaxy did not sleep after that day. Every major empire rewrote its defense plans. Trade routes shifted. Borders were redrawn without a single shot fired. Where human space once felt distant and unimportant, it now became a place carefully avoided, not because humans threatened others, but because no one wanted to test them again. On Earth, most people never learned how close extinction had come. There were no parades, no speeches. The battle did not need applause. Life continued. Cities glowed. Children slept under calm skies. That was enough. The human warships returned to their silent positions. Some docked at hidden stations. Others slipped into deep space, powering down, waiting. Humanity did not rush to expand or dominate. They went back to watching, learning, remembering on the original warship. Repairs were finally complete. Scars remained on its hull, dark lines carved by alien fire. No one tried to erase them. The captain stood alone on the bridge, looking out into the stars. "We did what we had to," the first officer said softly, joining him. "Yes," the captain replied, "and now we let the galaxy decide what to do with that truth." Elsewhere, alien leaders debated endlessly. Some argued for alliances with humanity. Others pushed for isolation. None spoke of conquest anymore. They had learned the cost of underestimating a species that survived by endurance. A report circulated through alien space, simple and direct. Human ships do not rely on shields. Human weapons are not designed to impress. Human strategy favors patience over speed. And one final line that frightened everyone who read it: humanity does not fight to win battles. Humanity fights to end threats. Years passed. No empire challenged. Human space conflicts still happened across the galaxy, but none crossed Earth's line again. When disputes grew to large, quiet human messages arrived. Calm warnings, clear limits. They were always obeyed. The warship that had started it all was eventually retired, not destroyed, not dismantled. It was placed in orbit around a distant star, its systems asleep, its weapons cold. A guardian at rest. New human ships were built, but they followed the same philosophy: strong hulls, simple designs, weapons made to last, not to shine. Humanity did not become rulers of the galaxy. They became something far more powerful, a boundary, and in every council chamber, in every fleet academy, in every star map, one lesson was taught again and again: never mock what you do not understand. Because the warship they called primitive was never weak. It was human.